Hello everyone. Today, I want to talk about something that can truly change the direction of your life. Sticking with good habits every single day. We've all had moments where we start with great enthusiasm, eating healthy, exercising, journaling, meditating. But somewhere along the way, we lose momentum. Why does that happen? And more importantly, how can we make good habits stick? Let me begin with a simple story. In 1993, a 23-year-old stockbroker named Trent Dursmid was hired by a bank in Abbotsford, Canada. Nobody expected much from him. But Trent had a secret weapon, a system that transformed his performance. Each morning, he placed two jars on his desk. One jar had 120 paper clips. The other was empty. Every time he made a sales call, he moved one paper clip. Call by call, clip by clip, he built a habit. And within 18 months, he was bringing in millions to the firm. This is called the paperclip strategy, a visual and physical way to track progress. And it's just one example of how habit tracking can change your life. Whether it's hairpins, marbles, calendars, or journals, seeing your progress builds momentum. It gives your brain that little dose of satisfaction. And that satisfaction is key. Let me share 3 main reasons why habit tracking works so well. 1. It makes your habits obvious. When you track your habits, mark an X on a calendar, log your meals, count your steps, you create a visible cue. That cue is a reminder. It makes the behavior stand out. One study found that people who kept a food log lost twice as much weight as those who didn't. Why? Because they became aware of what they were really doing. Habit tracking helps us stay honest. You might think you're eating healthy or exercising enough, but when you see the data, you realize where you're falling short. That awareness is the first step to change. 2. It makes habits attractive. Progress is powerful. When we see ourselves moving forward, even a little, it motivates us to keep going. That's why people love streaks. It's why apps show progress bars and streak counters. Think of comedian Jerry Seinfeld. He made a rule. Don't break the chain. He wrote jokes every day, not because they were all great, but to keep the streak going. And that's the mindset we all need. On tough days, the idea that I don't want to lose my streak is sometimes enough to show up. 3. It makes habits satisfying. This is the most important reason. Tracking a habit gives you a small reward. It feels good to check off a task, move a paper clip, log a workout. That feeling wires your brain to want to do it again. It reinforces your identity. I'm someone who follows through. You're no longer just hoping to be fit. You're someone who shows up to exercise. You're not hoping to write a book. You're someone who writes a little every day. That simple shift from focusing on the goal to focusing on the process is where the magic lies. Now, let's be honest. Tracking isn't always easy. It can feel like a hassle. Writing down every call, logging every meal, it takes time and effort. So here's what I recommend. Times automate where possible. Your phone already tracks steps. Your bank tracks expenses. Use that data. Times track only what truly matters. 1 or 2 key habits are enough. Times use habit stacking. For example, after I brush my teeth, I'll check off my water intake. After I finish lunch, I log it. The trick is to connect tracking to the habit itself so it becomes part of the flow. But what happens when you mess up? And you will mess up. Life gets busy. You get sick. You miss a workout or 2. Here's the golden rule. Never miss twice. If you skip one day, no big deal. It's when you skip 2 in a row that it starts becoming a new habit. Successful people don't avoid failure. They just recover quickly. They know that missing once is a mistake, but missing twice is a decision. So get back on track fast. Even a 5-minute workout, a few lines in your journal, a healthy snack, it matters. It says to your brain, I'm still the kind of person who shows up. Now, a word of caution. Be careful what you measure. If you're only tracking weight on the scale, you might miss other signs of progress, like better sleep, glowing skin, or improved mood. Don't get trapped by numbers. Tracking is a tool, not a scoreboard. As economist Charles Goodhart said, when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. The point isn't perfection. It's consistency. It's building the identity of someone who lives intentionally. So to sum up, times track your habits. Even in small ways, times keep the streak alive. Don't break the chain. Times recover fast. Never miss twice. Times track what matters. Not just what's easy to measure. Times show up. Even on bad days. Especially on bad days. Because in the end, it's not about being perfect. It's about being present. Each little action casts a vote for the person you're becoming. So go ahead, start your streak today. Thank you for listening. If this message inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Let's build better habits together. One day at a time. Stay consistent, stay committed. And remember, don't break the chain.